Hi everybody, it's Deb here with Country Craft Creations and Creative Life, and today I have our final project that we're going to be making with the April Craftology Box using Simple Stories Bliss paper collection. So before I get started, I want to say hey to all my new subscribers and thank you for subscribing to my channel. I hope that you all find my creations inspiring, and I hope that you try them out, and I hope you like them. So I just want to say welcome to my YouTube channel, and I appreciate y'all joining me here. So today we're going to be making a storage container. So using this beautiful paper. I have a few sheets left. I've been trying to save some so that way I would have enough left to make the container. So this is what we're going to be using. When you get, sometimes you get your paper in the mail from your, for your kits, or, you know, when you order paper, you will get this mailbox, the priority box, that is about 2 inches wide, and I don't know how long this is, 22 or so. See, on the box, it says, you know, it gives you the measurements right here, and so it's an awesome box for your 12 by 12 papers, you guys. And I needed something on my desk, so when I get in my kits, I can put them, you know, use my current papers and put those first, and then put other papers that I want to use or something behind them. So I thought this box has enough room for the 12 by 12 paper, and it's able to hold at least a couple of stacks in there. So so I thought these would be like super cool, and I have like 2 of them that I've been saving for this project. I didn't know what paper I was going to use until now. So I'm going to go ahead. I went ahead and did kind of like a, I call it like a roller coaster. Look. So I just measured 2 inches from the seam right here, and then I measured 2 inches down, and then I just drew what I wanted. Now you can do a square, so you could just do it like a straight line and then down and then over if you wanted to do that, or you could try to draw. I did it several times until I figured out what I wanted or where I wanted it. And then on this side here, where your little roller coaster ends, this is about 6 3/4 down from the seam up here. So what I did was once I drew my little line in pencil, I got a marker and I marked it here, and then I marked it here, and then I just kind of followed my pencil line, and then I measured from here, from the seam down, and I knew where to draw my line across this way. What I'm going to do, because I probably will not, I am not a good drawer, and so I probably will not be able to do this again on the back. So I'm going to attempt to cut this out. Excuse me. Sorry guys, my phone. I'm going to attempt to cut this out right here. Save this portion of my box, okay, and then flip it over and draw it on this side, so hopefully it'll match up, and I'll be able to cut this side out. And this sheet is just covering up some addresses and stuff like that on it. So that's what I have planned to do. So I will be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And I think the easiest way for me to do this is to get a box cutter. And let's see, or no, you know what? I'll use the scissors first, because I want to save this part here. So I want to cut down. Sorry if I'm out of camera, you guys. I'm just cutting the box down. Just like this. Actually, I'm going to cut these off the ends, because you don't need these. So you can cut off all of your ends. This piece here. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually leave your box like this, and then just cover this part with white cardstock or black cardstock, or whatever you have on hand. But I want to try and see if this would work. So I actually need my little roller coaster drawing to go like this. So I'm going to put it up on the top like this, okay, and then go ahead and trace that. So I'm going to go ahead and trace it with my pencil. Just like that. And now I can go ahead and cut that out. So again, I'm just going to follow my line. There we go. So I've got two roller coaster things now. so there is our box, y'all. It turned out really good. I'm like super excited about this. Oh my gosh, it turned out really awesome. So so next we just need to cover it. So and I am going to be using again the Bliss paper collection from Simple Stories. That's in our Craftology box. And I've got a few sheets left. These little thin ones here I thought I would use on the side of my box, so I kept those. And then I have a few of the big sheets. So I've got this one, and I've got like almost like one of each sheet that none of them like really match or anything. So my front and my back will probably be different. I like the pink. I like these two together. But I kind of like this. Maybe what I'll do is, I love that wood too, you guys. Oh my gosh. Decisions. So again, it will have to be 12 inches because you will need, see, your box is going to be about 12 inches long, and actually you will need, this is about 2 inches wide here, so you're probably going to have to cut your paper. I would cut it at 4.5 or 4 inches, just so it wraps around. So let let's do the ends first, okay? And then if you wanted to, you could always do the bottom, or you could paint the bottom, or you could just get plain white cardstock and put that on the black cardstock or whatever, and put that on the bottom, which I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me grab, I have some artisan cardstock here from Shop. And so I think I do have some scraps here, you guys. So I might go ahead and just wrap this around. So I am thinking, I have a larger scrap piece of paper here. I'm thinking I'm going to cut it at 4. So let's cut this at 4. This is just scrap. It's scored. It was previously scored for something, and then I didn't do it. So, so I'm going to cut it at 4 inches, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I might go ahead and score about, I think it's going to be about a 1/2 inch on either side. So let's try that. That way it kind of wraps up and around. I think we should cut another piece so we can go ahead and have it wrap like here. So we'll have it wrap this way and up, right? And then we'll have, this part won't be wrapped, so we'll just need like a little tiny piece for right here. So let's cut another one real quick at 4. And this one you don't need to have it very big, probably about 4 by 4. Let's do that. Okay, and this is already scored at a 1/2 inch, but I'm just going to go ahead and score it down again at a 1/2 inch here. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn it, I want to turn it over because I bent that part when I was testing it. So we're going to score this at a 1/2 inch. So again, your first paper is going to be 12 inches by 4. Then you're going to turn it around, score it again at a 1/2 inch. And then here, we're just going to go ahead and score 3 sides, since it's 4 by 4. And score one side, turn it over, or turn it, score a 1/2 inch, turn it again, and score another 1/2 inch. And again, I'm just using scratch pieces of paper, y'all. Okay, now we will have to cut these little areas here, so that way they fold in. I'm going to go ahead and cut. I'm just going to go ahead and cut right here. Now I cut on either side of my score lines. If you want to cut it at an angle, a lot of people do that, but I go ahead and just cut on either side of my score lines, just like that. And then I just go ahead and pluck that off, just like that. Okay. And again, let's see, we're going to go on this side here. Just like that. Okay, so now we can go ahead and glue on our little end here. So we're going to go ahead and glue this. Since these are little tabs, we can actually glue these on the inside, just like that. I just want to make sure, again, it fits. Yep. It's a little bit big. We may need to... Your score lines may need to be adjusted. So... we're going to score at, say I did 1/2 inch. Let's do 5/8 inch. And see, that will probably, okay y'all, so I tested out, this is what I want you to do. I want you to cut your papers at 4 inches by 12. And then I want you to score at a 1/2 inch, okay? And then I want you to score another line at 5/8 inch, okay? And then same thing on this side. So you're going to score, you're going to turn your paper over, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch, and then you're just going to score it again at 5/8 inch. Okay, and then on the side, on the ends here, you just want it scored at a 1/2 inch, okay? And the reason why I'm telling you to score next to each other on these lines here is because it kind of gives it a rounded effect, and because these are rounded, it's not all the way one size. So like right here, it seems like it's a 1/2 inch, but then it rounds into, see how it kind of curves, and it curves into the 5/8 of an inch. So I think that that will help you keep your the edges clean a little bit and help it kind of round out the paper a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 4x4 one. We already scored it at a 1/2 inch, and so now we just need to score it at 5/8 of an inch. Okay. Now this is if you want to cover the bottom part. Okay. If you don't want to cover the bottom part, you don't have to. But you know, sometimes you know, you want to go ahead and get a nice clean look on something. So, you know, so I'm going to go ahead and cover this and show you all how to do that. Okay. And then here we're just going to go ahead and leave the end part at a 1/2 inch. And then if you already cut yours like I did, you're just going to go ahead and follow in. Again, you're just going to cut in that groove area, so you can make your little tab a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay. So, okay, so that's good. Now, we will need our scoreboard probably again, since we're going to cover this part, and then we're going to cover this part and this part here. So right now we're just covering our end. So the end part here, I'm going to go ahead and put our tabs inside. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. Okay. So I'm just gluing my tab inside here, just like that. And I am gluing it to the inside, but I'm kind of leaving, I'm kind of leaving it on the 5/8 inch, okay, area. And then on this side, I'll go ahead and lay this down. So I'm going to put some glue right here on the edge. So I'm going to lay my little flap down here, just like this. Okay. just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this side down. Okay. So I'm going to glue my little flap down, and then I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here, and I'm going to put some glue on the inside of there. Okay, you can lift this part up, okay, because we didn't glue that other flap down. So you can put some glue on the inside of that flap, and then just lay some glue down here. Just like that. And curve that around. So that way now it's glued down, and because we rounded, I think because we did those double score lines, it fits really well. I hope your guys' I hope it's working out okay for you. And then same thing with this. So here I'm going to go ahead and put this on top of here. Okay, and I'm actually going to glue this part down. Okay, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue here, this side. Grab my little end. There we go. So that is all finished. So, and you know, you will have a seam there, but you know, nobody's going to see it because we're going to cover up this part, and this is going to be laying on the desk. So no one's going to see that part. So, all right, so to cover this side, we're going to do the same thing like we did for this here. For this one, though, we won't need it very big. So, but I see that right here I have a little bit of a gap. See that right there? That's sticking out. So, since I have that, I'm going to go ahead and trim it down some and kind of clean that up a little bit. I don't want to have a large gap there, so, and same thing here, I'm just going to clean that up a bit. So, okay, so there we go. So, alright, so then, so here we're going to go ahead and measure how much paper we need. We won't need a 12 by 12 because we cut it down. So you will need 11 and a half, or yeah, 11 and a half by 4. So let's do or if you want to do 4 inches by 11, then you can tuck your paper inside if you wanted to cover this part up in through here. Okay, I think I'm going to use this. So I just need it at 4, and I don't have enough of this one, so that's okay. So here I have some, so I'm going to cut this part at 4. We're going to cut it at 4 inches by, and we're going to leave it at 12. I think it's at 12, yeah. Whoop. So, sorry about that, y'all. My cord got in the way. So, okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and again score it We're going to want this side. Make sure if you have a print that you have it going the right way. So like this right here, I want to score this top part. I want to score this top part at the 1/2 inch, okay? Because I want to fold that in. So I'm going to go ahead and score that down at the 1/2 inch. Okay, so now my paper is at 11.5. Okay, so and then here we're going to go ahead and score it again at a 1/2 inch, and then at the 5/8 inch. So 1/2 inch, and then at the 5/8, turn it over, and then again. Then we can go ahead and cover this part. So this is going to be your long part, okay? Now you can go ahead and you will cover up that area. So your paper will go down towards the end just like this, okay, and we'll put glue all the way up here until we get here. Now this is where we're going to go ahead and cut. So you're going to cut actually in between the lines right here. So we're going to cut, so I'm looking at real quick. You're going to cut the, I don't know how to explain it, I guess. The inside line. So this inside line you're going to cut, and that would be your 5/8 inch line. You're just going to cut it down to where we scored right here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut that down, and so we're going to cut that down right there, just like that. Okay. And then if you wanted to, you can go ahead and cut just a little bit in. I'm not quite sure if it'll like go all the way down, but you just want to bevel it just a little bit, or cut it slanted just a little bit in, not a bunch. Just like that. Okay, and so we're ready. So we're going to go ahead and put glue down here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead. The other neat thing, I just thought about this. If you really wanted to dress up your box, you could even add some really cute lace around it. If you wanted to dress that up, that would be super, super cute, y'all. So that would be super cute. And that is already tucked down in there, so I'm just going to leave that. Might glue that little piece right there. Alright, so then now we can go ahead and cover, we can go ahead and do this part, because we got to do this part before we add any of the other papers. So we're going to go ahead and measure this. Again, it's going to be 4 inches this way. So we need one 4 by, let's do 7.5. Okay. So 4 by 7.5. And again, you can use the same paper if you wanted to, or you could use something different. So I have to see if I have one that's 4. Oh, I do. So, boy, I lucked out. 4. So I want to keep those little butterflies. I think they're so cute. So I want to do 4 by, or 7.5, did I say? 7.5. So I am going to, I want to make sure I keep these little butterflies, so I just like those butterflies in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut mine at that line right there, and then cut it at 7.5. So I'll cut it right here, and then at 7.5. Okay, and then again, we just need to go ahead and do our top part here at 1/2 inch. Okay. And you know what? It may be longer than that, but we'll go ahead and keep it at 1/2 inch. And then you'll come in and do the 1/2 inch, and then the 5/8 inch right next to that. Okay. Turn it around. Again, do the 1/2 inch and then the 5/8 inch. I do anything, because I want to make sure that, okay, so this, mine is a little shorter in the front here, so that is okay. So what I could do is just go ahead and fold it. Once I get it glued down, I could go ahead and just fold in right here where I got it, just like that. So I would cut, if you want yours longer in through here, I would cut it at 8, okay, and then score down about 1/2 inch, and then see if that fits. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna leave mine just like that, okay. So but I'm doing this so that way y'all can learn from my mistakes. So I've never made one of these before, so I have no, I'm just gonna go in with the flow here, y'all. So I'm doing what I think I should be doing. So like I said, if you're just watching this, I would go ahead and cut yours out at 8, and then score like you would at 1/2 inch from the top here, okay. And then go ahead and make your other score lines like we did, the 5.5 and the half inch, or 5/8. I'm sorry, 1/2 inch and the 5/8 inch. And then I would go ahead and, you know, cut in your tabs, because I will have a little bit showing here, but that's okay, because I'm going to... you know, you might get something like this where your lines don't match up on the side of your box. That's okay, because remember, we're covering this whole thing here. So your paper that you're going to put on top of this on the sides is going to cover, you know, some of the you know, like the seams and stuff like that, the score marks that we made. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, so next is your decorating paper. So whatever you want to decorate your paper with, your box with, you go ahead and pick that out. And we can go ahead and scoot our scoreboard over. And then we will need those little roller coaster templates that you cut out earlier. So you'll need those because you're going to have to form your paper against this, unless you want to go ahead and fold it over. Then that's up to you, okay? To do that, you would have to cut notches in your paper, okay, and then fold them inside. So I'm not sure if that's what I'm doing. I may not do that just because I did it with these here. I don't know, that might be a little much work, and I don't want to mess it up. So I get nervous about messing stuff up, especially when it's new to me. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one for my front, and so to cut off the top part, I think the easiest way to do this is to go ahead, lay your paper down, put your box on top of your paper, and bring your box down to the end of the paper. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm bringing my box down to the edge of my paper. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my pencil and I'm going to trace around my paper. Okay, now you want to, now for your front, if you're doing your front piece, you want to go ahead and make sure you lay this part, you know, you want to lay your box on top of your front part of your paper, just like that. So see how I drew that down on there? Okay, so that's the way I would do it. The other way you could do it is you could go ahead and I guess you could, if you felt like you wanted to, you could put your paper up here. You would have to fit your little roller coaster template up here into the groove of your box, and then you could hold it and trace it down. But I think, to me, for a sturdier way is to lay your box on top of your paper and then draw. Okay, now for the other side, then, so like this is my front. Okay, so I'm going to mark this front. Okay, then for my other side, I'm going to flip it over. Okay, and I'm going to grab my paper that I want on the other side, and I think for the other side of this, oh gosh, guys, I don't know. I'll do the polka dots. Okay, then for the other side, I'm going to go ahead and yeah, you would lay this down like this, again bringing the edge to, or the bottom of the box to the edge of the paper. Okay, and then draw your little template on there. I think I drew on my thing, but that's okay. Okay, just like that. So then this is going to be for my back. So see how that matches up to my back? And then this one will be to my front. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out. We'll see how they work. Now, if you wanted to, like I said before, if you wanted to leave a border, I would suggest you just cut a 1/2 inch higher, or maybe 3/4 of an inch higher, and go along that ridge there. The only problem is that, I'm not sure, see, and mine might be a little bit higher right here, because I have my paper to the bottom here, and my little roller coaster template is way up here. So I do have a little bit of a lip on that. So, but that's okay. That's all right. Because, you know, we can always cover the inside if you wanted to. And hopefully I stay on the line. I always have a habit of going outside the line. The good thing with drawing on with pencil is the fact that on your paper you can erase that line, and or once you erase it, if it doesn't come off all the way, you can always ink it. So if you have a line, you can ink it, okay? So there is our paper, just like that. So I do have a little bit of a, it's laying flat, and I do have a little bit of a border on that. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just leave my inside the way it is. I don't think I'm going to cover that. So, because I'm the only one that's going to see it, and basically I'm going to have papers inside of there, just like this. So nobody's going to see the inside anyway. If you wanted to, you could cover the inside here, you know, but that's up to you. You know, if y'all want to do that, that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my other paper. I like it. So I am going to grab some cardstock, and then we are going to go ahead and trace these, put them on the inside, just like that. Okay? And then our insides will be covered. So let me grab some cardstock, and I will be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. Alright, so for the inside, what I did is I just got my black cardstock, and I traced the little cutout that we just did on two 12 by 12 pieces of paper. Okay, and then I'll cut those out, and then I went ahead and I'm gonna go and I'm just erasing my pencil marks on my little sheets here. Okay, and then here I have two pieces of paper, or two of my scratch pieces of paper that are 3 1/4 by 12 inches that we will cut down, okay? And we'll cut those down to fit right in here. Now, for those, I don't think we need to, you know, score them and all that like we did before. I'm just going to try to, I'm going to cut them at 2 inches and then slip them in there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do there. So right now I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and right now I'm just erasing my pencil marks, and then I will fast forward through the rest. So, okay, so these are 2 3/4. So that's what you will cut your little pieces for to slide in through here. 2 3/4 by, and 11. 11, and we can just do 11 1/4. This one will be 2 3/4. By 7 1/4. So 2 3/4 by 7 1/4. So that's about right there. I'm actually thinking this one right here. Okay, so on this one here, I'm going to cut it down just a bit because it's a little tight in there, and you all may have to cut yours down too, so that fits a little bit better. And then I'm going to cut down a little bit of this. So it's better to just measure yours before, because I can give you the measurements, but your box may be different than mine. I mean, as far as like, you know, once it gets shipped, it gets tossed around and it gets smushed and all of that. So the measurements may change the box itself. So like that right there, I could go ahead and leave that. I think that'll work. Just like that. So like this one here is actually 2 5/8, just about, by 7 1/8. It's almost 7, actually it's almost 7 inches. So, but I think that the box will probably change. You know, I would definitely cut yours a little bit bigger and then try it and see if you need to cut it down, you know, a couple of, or just a tad, or maybe an eighth of an inch, or whatever. Okay, so next we're gonna I might cut these down just to be flush with my box. So in order to do that, I might go ahead and I'm going to see here. That looks kind of nice though. I kind of like that little edging on there. So I'm not sure. I might not cut that down. I kind of like it like that. So I'm gonna leave it. I kind of like that. So I don't know. So I might just leave it like that. I might go ahead and on this side here, because these little paper here, let's see if it'll, I guess I could raise it up just a bit to just kind of give it that. So if you have yours like this, okay, so because mine is all the way down, this piece right here, okay, it's all the way down into the box. If you cut yours and it has this little lip and you like it like that, you can always raise this part up in the front to kind of match that, so it gives it like a nice little border in the front there, okay, if you wanted to do that. Or you could cut it down so it's flush all the way, however you want to do your box, okay. But that's, I think that I'm going to keep that, so I kind of like that look. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to go ahead and glue down the inside of my paper to my box, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and grab my glue. I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing this. Now, if you don't have glue and you want to use your score tape, you could use score tape for this if you wanted to do that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this side in first. Okay, so there we go. So now we just need to stick our two little pieces in here. And here's this one. And that one's just going to go fit right in there just like that. And again, I'm going to lift it up just a bit so it has that little top part right here showing. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put glue on it. Just all the way to the top there. And then I'm just going to drop that down. Just like that. Again, I'm going to make sure it matches the height of my other my black paper on there. And I'm going to start gluing. I'm going to actually tack it down from the top. And then work down. I want Now all we've got to do is just cover this part right in through here, y'all. So, yay! So, grab this piece of paper here, and I'm going to go ahead and set that down. And so my paper will sit just like that. And I'm just checking it to make sure that's where I want it. I do have a little piece up in through here. See how it kind of goes over that? I'm thinking what I might do is just go ahead, bring my paper down to the edge of that. I don't want to try to cut that again. So I'm going to bring my paper down to the edge of my box where I cut it. Like this. Okay. And what I want to do is, then what I'm going to do is I will cut the bottom part. I will just cut that little piece at the bottom. It's not that much. I think it's like maybe 1/8 of an inch. Right there. So once we get done, then or you know what I could do is we could do this. Lay your paper down and where you want it. Okay. Flip it over. Okay, and you're going to see if you have that, okay, like I do, then you're just going to draw your line. Okay, and now we know where to cut. So I'm just going to grab this, my cutter, and I am just going to cut the bottom part. So I don't want to cut that top part again. That was way too, that's too, I know I did it once. I know I will not be able to do it again. So yeah, I know me already. So then I'm going to go ahead and flip this over, and I'm going to go ahead and line it up again, and it fits just perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. So put glue up here. there's the back side, you guys, and that turned out so awesome. Wow, I am like really loving this. So so then the next thing, if you wanted to, you have two options. One, if you have lace, you could go ahead and put your lace around your box. The other option is if you have some beautiful ribbon, you could go ahead and lay your ribbon on top of this. And I'm not sure if this will work because it's kind of a little bit stiff ribbon. But I know I do want it on here, so I'm not sure if I might tie this. Have it go in the front and then around like this. Just like that. I really like that. So, I might have it do that. So, really like this ribbon. The other thing is if you have some seam binding, you might be able to pucker your seam binding and go around and now that, you know, or, you know, do a needle and thread on your seam binding and then lay it down and around. So you could do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and lay my seam binding just like this around my box, just like that. Okay, and then I am going to go ahead and have this stop on this side in the back, like right here on the edge. Okay, so I need to make sure that where I want it right on this little lip part here. Okay, so I want to put some glue here because I know that that's where I want it. This, so I did cut some of this down. So yours may reach all the way, but mine does not. That's okay. So for right there, let's see here, what do we have? Oh, you know what? We have Alright y'all, so I'm back. Sorry, my recorder ran out of memory, so I had to get it going again. So I went ahead and picked out a few things, stuck down some stickers here, and cut out my butterflies, and I'm just finishing that up. And I'm going to go ahead and lay these cards down. So just going to go ahead and put some glue on here. And I'm just going to try to hurry up on this so my card doesn't die on y'all again. Our little storage box. So your papers will fit in there, and I've got some papers left here. So and I'm going to be doing another storage box as well, so there will be two sitting on my desk. So but this is how it will look when it stands up. So it'll look just, you know, like that, and your papers will fit in there just like that. But I wanted some inspirational quotes and everything to see while I'm crafting, and I really like these. Like, they remind me of like little buttons, and this one says create beauty, and I said oh joy, and then enjoy, and then bliss today, keep smiling, life is beautiful. I love this down here, enjoy the ride, be you, and it's a beautiful day. So enjoy the ride and be you. It's a beautiful day. So I just thought that was really neat, and focus on what's important. So I just love all of that. So I hope that you all enjoy this project and you try it out. If you do, please tag me at Scrapbookers. And again, thank you all for joining me today, and y'all have a great evening. Thank you so much. Talk to you later. Bye.